Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Well, hello, everyone. It's Marie-Ève. It's Me Time Podcast. Welcome back, everyone. I am in a good mood. I am Marie-Ève Mongrain, your hostess, and I am a mindset and self-love life coach. I do live in Quebec, so if you hear the accent, this beautiful, gorgeous accent that's so seductive, it's because I'm from Quebec. I do enjoy where I'm from. I'm enjoying what I'm doing and who I am as a person. And the more I love myself, the more I'm enjoying where I do come from, right? Instead of beating up myself for it. Now, today, so for those who don't know me, I'm Marie-Ève. I've been widowed for over 5 years. I became a mindset and self-love life coach throughout my healing, where I discovered the law of attraction. I had a spiritual awakening after the first guy I loved didn't work out. And it was like really like the world opened up a different way. And it was good because, as heartbreaks are painful, I found the love of my life, which is myself. And which you guys should be yourself, honestly, right? And so you can find me, for those who want to listen to me, right now, here, I am not live. If you're listening to me on the radio, on Spotify, or any other radio station or podcast station, I am not live yet. One day I will be, don't worry. But for now, I am not. But I am live on TikTok when I do these. So if you happen to be in my community, which is the, not hashtag, but the commercial A, I don't know how you say it in English, arrobas, Marie Mongrain 90. That's MARIE-MONGRAIN 90. You can find me live and come and listen to me once in a while when I decide to do it. Usually it's on Tuesdays when I do it. Otherwise, you can also find me on Instagram. Same handle, Marie Mongrain 90. Or my website. My website is marieevemongrain.com. So that's MARIEEVEMONGRAIN.com, where all my podcasts are also hosted. They're hosted on different stations like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Deezer. It's all there. Like there's a lot. And every night, if you feel that you love my voice so much, please be careful not to fall asleep while you're driving. I do have a pretty safe voice, apparently. I've been told. You can listen to me every night. I believe it's from 6 till 8 or 8 till 6. Please don't take my word for it, but I know there's an 8 and a 6. So either from 8 p.m. till 6 a.m. or from 6 p.m. till 8 a.m. Pretty sure it's the first one. You can find me on the PBN stations. So they have 5 different stations. And on 4 of those right at the moment, I go in loop every 90 minutes. So you're sure to find me there if you are on PBN podcast station. So enjoy. Yeah, I do have people that fall asleep as I'm listening to me. Two of my friends actually, they fell asleep. They're like, oh my God, like I fell asleep. And I asked them, I'm like, wow, it must be boring. She's like, no, actually, I felt super safe to fall asleep, right? Because as my energy is healing, the words I'm speaking and just everything, and in my head, I'm like super excited. I'm talking, blah, 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 like, like verbal diarrhea of all I know. But at the same time, for me, I'm like, I'm not annoyed by myself. I'm just like, it's not something I would fall asleep on. But again, if it's the energy that's behind the words, I do trust that whatever healing people need, that's what they're getting. And so I take it as a compliment. I apologize for my dog that's barking. And just take 1 second here. I'm just gonna be right back. All right, the puppy situation is taken care of. I'm pretty sure he's like sleeping. It's funny because last week, like I haven't had him groomed since May, and we're September, right? End of September. And he did last week. He looks so scrunchy, like looks so skinny, but he's just so adorable. He's just adorable. Little ball of love. Yeah, you're a little ball of love. Yeah, you are. Who else has puppies here? Anybody else puppies? They can be annoying sometimes, but man, especially when they bark. But they're just adorable. He comes and cuddles as a little ball on my belly. Like I'm a side sleeper, so he comes and cuddles. If I'm on the couch, he cuddles me. He just wants me in the car. Like the girls want to take him. He's like, I want mommy. I want mommy. It's a lot of love, so I'm receiving it. All right, so today I'm in a creative mood. Like seriously, the past week has been very, very creative. I'm enjoying that my energy, my vibration is, I feel safer. I'm chatting with someone daily. I've been chatting with someone for since July on Instagram in private. And I really am enjoying the discussion that I have with that man, and just I'm allowing myself to open myself up again, like to open my heart again. And the way we handle, like if there's like an emotion that's like a trigger for him or a trigger for me, we're about to speak about it and get our needs met. So far, so good. But and I'm noticing that as I'm feeling safer to express who I am and how I feel, it is safer to be more in my feminine energy. And so now, when you're not in survival mode, it's a lot easier to be in your feminine energy and just receiving and be creative, right? The masculine energy does plan and does all the things, and the feminine energy, she receives and she just enjoys, right? That's how we enjoy life, and that's how men enjoy, is to provide and stuff. But for me right now, the way I'm receiving this, the way I can see them getting better and better, is I'm getting more creative. So last week, sorry, just lost it here. I'm looking at here. I got my machine here. It's a cry cut. So before Eric passed away, so for those who don't know, Eric was my previous husband, my deceased husband. I don't know what I'm supposed to call him. He's not my ex. I don't say my ex because I didn't break up. Like, he used to be my husband. Now he's dead. So, but first of all, being on TikTok has helped me be creative, like doing some trends and trying to do some things. But now, last week, I'm like, oh, you know what? We actually went to Michael's, which is a crafting store here, because my daughter wanted to do rainbow loom bracelet that she had stored at school. And so I'm like, oh, that's cool. Let's go to Michael's. I do enjoy Michael's. It's a really good store that I really enjoy, because I do enjoy crafting. And I used to cake decorate before, right? So I bought all my Wilton stuff at Michael's. I used to give cake decorating courses at Michael's too. So I am very creative. I have a very creative background. Used to do art concentration in high school. Like, I really love the arts. And so anyway, we go to that store, and then I'm looking like, ooh, they have a sale on all cry cuts, like the paper, the colored paper to put in your machine. So a cry cut machine, for those who don't know, or they have some that are Silhouette as well. I think it's a different brand. You can like have a cup or something, and then you would have on the computer the design, and it's a printer, but it's like a cutting printer. So this, for example, on my cup, there's a palm tree with green leaves and a brown trunk. And so that machine will actually go and cut on the paper this design and cut the design of the leaves. And then all I have to do is I have to peel stuff and then transfer it on the paper, on the glass. And there's a lot of people who are doing it. Like, I even got myself 2 cups so I could practice. Like, you can tell, I not quite, like, I need to get something a little bigger. But my goal is, when I do conferences, I want to have some wine, like some wine cups. I'm thinking stemless. I just, a nice wine cup with the logo. And right now it's in French because it's in Quebec. But I'm writing Je m'aime à la folie. MEM is like my initials. And in English, Je m'aime à la folie means I love myself crazy, right? And like, just here, It's Me Time podcast, I would have that same cup and I would write It's Me Time. So that way, when you're like drinking, it's like, oh, it's me time, right? But ME stands for Marie-Ève, Marie-Ève, right? Those are my initial for my first name. And MEM is the initial for my full name. So I'm really enjoying, like, Je m'aime à la folie. I love myself crazy. And so as I do my conference, I at least have something people can leave with, like, they can buy it and just go back home and like love themselves and have that energy and my energy and just the message to love oneself, right? That's the idea. So I tried my machine. So that's why I talk about my dead husband, was because my cry cut machine is like generation, like it's Air 2, Explore Air 2. So I've had this machine for the past 5.5 years. Before he passed away, as he was like getting sicker and sicker, and I knew I was going to get an inheritance, I was like, well, there's nothing I can do about him dying. But I wanted to start trying this because I'm really crafty and I really wanted to try this machine. And in the end, I bought it, never opened it until like last week. I didn't have time. When he was dying, I didn't have time to craft. Then I was a single mother. I didn't have time to craft. Like, I craft for my girls a couple of things. but like to actually learn how the machine works, I didn't take the time for it. And so last week I do a lot of things live on TikTok. Like I'm live all day long, almost. I love you guys so much. Hey Bob. And so I'm live often, just because for me at one point I needed this to get moving, right? Sometimes you have to find your own what motivates you. And as I'm me getting better in my mental health and getting better in my life, I do enjoy sharing my breakthroughs and my messages with people on TikTok, and just to inspire people to do something different, right? To give them permission to say, oh, this is okay. Like you don't have to feel shame for anything. And so anyway, last week I opened this. I tried it. One night I was live, talked to one of my friends there, and then the next day, that was it. The next day I tried it better way, because the first night I even ended up doing some coaching. Because I do free coaching on internet. Like, so when I'm on TikTok, you guys, if you're on TikTok and you need coaching, please let me know. I'm here for this. I do offer free coaching. I offer coaching in private too, but that's why also I go online, because I help people. Anyway, so that night I ended up doing that. But the next day I said, okay, let me try it for real. And the girls ended up going outside. Oh, actually that night they ended up having a movie night at their friend's house. I was so excited I wanted to do it, and they just ended up going to their friend's house. I was like, oh, okay, go have the movie night. That works out perfectly, actually. Thank you. Right. I was super excited to work with it. But anyway, so that was how I got into like a lot. I'm like, oh, I have time. I'm more creative. I'm allowing myself to go in that creative thing. And in the end, what I'm gonna do, because it didn't work out, the thing on my cup didn't work out, I'm just gonna spend the money and go and get them printed online. And so if you want a cup, I don't have the logo with me, but if you want a cup that says "J'aime, I like myself crazy," or "It's Me Time Podcast," message me. I will, at one point I will have them on my website. But I'm gonna make them, and I'm gonna have some to sell for my conferences. But if you're also interested in this, I will have some It's Me Time Podcast cups as well that you can buy soon. Send me a little message telling me I'm interested, and when it's ready, I'll let you know. Anyway, so after this, I start, for me, my girls were doing mommy and me time every night. It's kind of like 15 minutes. They have 15 minutes of, they choose the activity they want to do with me. Because for a while, I'm like feeling guilty. I don't spend enough time with them. Or then when they're there, I don't want to spend time with them. And I said, I don't like this. And I want to make sure that we always, every day, have some time together. And if we don't, it's on their choice, not mine, right? So 15 minutes with each girl. So it's 30 minutes. We usually do that after dinner, just before bedtime. And so for a while, like what we did like last week, we started using the program, like the app Dojo Class. It's an app on internet that gives point at school. Like the school uses this, and what I did is I upgraded for the home version. So we give point. I give points. So when they do something like they're like put their clothes in the hamper or brush their teeth, I'm giving them points. Not because they're gonna get surprises, because they like the privileges that they can get are privileges they already have, right? So we do movie night weekly. We go to the museum or go do an outing every weekend. They get to invite their friends, like a play date at home. Those are not, for us, they're not a prize. It's just part of our normal life. So I'm like, well, girls, even if you were not to do these things, we would still go to the apple picking. We would still go to this place, not because you don't need to do anything to earn that. You just do, because that's the lifestyle we have, right? So now what we're doing is like, we've done is their tablet time, because at one point I had zero limit. Well, actually, it was very useful for me when they want a tablet. I can just go take a shower or nap or do my own things, right? But then at one point I said, well, girls, if you don't stop, like, I'm just gonna have to stop and take the tablet for the whole week. And they said, okay, mom. I'm like, wait, what? It's like, here, you can take our tablet for the whole week. Like, there was nothing, they didn't do anything wrong. They just say, we want to try that. I'm like, okay, you sure? I'm doing that for you. Like, I'm taking the tablet because you're the one telling me you want me to have it, right? They're like, sure, yeah. So I took the tablet, put them away. And that 1 week of that, like the first day was hard. Like, can we have some time? Can we have some time after school? I was like, no, you girls give it to me. So it's until Sunday, right? And it was on the calendar so they could see when it was. And so in the end, they've done so well the first week. And even there's some more friends that came knocking at the door. And like in the evening, they don't have time to watch tablet. They just want to go play with their friends. which is fantastic. The morning they don't have time, but like in the afternoon after school, they do have time, and their friends come knocking at the door like, we're out the door, bye. They're boys, they're girls, and like it's so good to see the whole entire neighborhood. Like we have like maybe 10 kids in the area, like just like the neighbors, and they play together, they play Nerf gun, like fight, and they play teacher, and they do biking in the street, and we're on a really really safe street, so it's very nice. And so it's really fun to see. And so their 1 week of not having tablets got them a lot to play with their friends a lot more. And now they're actually like, yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't need, like, they don't need it. And so what I do is every time they gain points, like for having the not like instead of screaming, they speak. So they get points, putting the clothes in the hamper, like I mentioned, taking the bus, like being on the bus, going to cheerleading, like doing some things. They get 1 point or 5 points. Like there are some that are worth a lot more points. But what I'm doing is every point they get is a minute of tablet they get on the weekend. Again, we won't say it out loud. They're not here, but doesn't matter. They could not have those points and I still give them more time, right? Saturday morning, I'm sorry, points or no points, you have the tablet. For them, it's just nice because in a way, they're not working for anything else, for any motivation. Like for them, it's a motivation, yes, but just to click on the thing, ding, ding, at night, it's also a celebration of how the day went. Oh, look, today I did not scream. Oh, look, today I was able to speak. I was patient, right? I see it as a celebration of what they're accomplishing. Like, it's not just the whole week. It's you've accomplished these things today. Even though you didn't think you'd done anything, look at what you've done. And so we're doing this and we've got more creative. So, and no, as a way to detour the no screen time for the first week, when we were doing mommy and me time, I said, can we do Nintendo Switch with you? I'm like, sure. It's 15 minutes. We're playing together. And so we got new games. We got Just Dance 22, and we got Luigi's Mansion 3. And so we played Luigi's for the full week. Like their time was to play on the Switch, which I was okay, right? I'm like, it's fine. And so, but actually yesterday, 2 days ago, Sophie's like, oh, for my mommy time, and now they're like ditching their friends. Their friends are like, do you want to come and play with us outside? They're like, no, it's my mommy time. I'm spending time with my mom. It's so cute. I'm like, I'm loving it. Hey, Linda, like I'm loving it. And not I want all the like I want it all, but I'm like, oh my god, like it's good because they're valuing it, right? Over going to play outside like with their friend now. But it's not just a tablet now. The last time was me and my daughter. She's like, I want to do a creation. Like I want to go online and do like some Halloween craft. And so we ended up finding this little witch craft that has a little string, and then you just pulling up and down. And I'm like we're getting more creative together. And even yesterday, so the day, well, not yesterday. Yesterday was Monday, and the day before, the girls, they went outside. They played school and teacher, and they brought paint outside. I don't know where they found that paint. That one was in the closet in the basement, and they brought it outside. They're going to bed and like, oh crap, we forgot our paint at the neighbor. I'm like, what paint? Like I don't even know how they paint it. Right? Anyway, so in the end, before like they go to bed, they fall asleep because we still co-sleep, right? And for me, I just enjoy. They fall asleep in my arms. They feel it's a safe space. It's a good time to finish the day. It's amazing. And so I'm like, oh, I guess I'm gonna go get the paint, right? And I go outside, starting to rain, so it was a good timing. And they were using my acrylic paint, my like little more expensive paint. I'm like, are you kidding me? And like, well, I said maybe because usually that was downstairs. I'm like, maybe it's the universe giving me the message that maybe you paint a little bit, right? Maybe you get your inner child out and paint. And so what I did the next day is exactly that. Because I did buy a lot of canvas the year before, and I had some canvas downstairs. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna sit and just paint, right? Because it feels like if you're always busy doing cleaning or doing something, sitting down and just painting feels like a waste of time. But actually, it's not. Because I used to like I love crafting, and I'm like, I don't care if it looks like something or anything. So yesterday, what I did is I'm like, all right, girls, do you want to paint with me? And we got each of us, we had our canvas. We went and sat on the grass in the front yard, and we just started painting. We had our thing. The girls like super creative, just putting a bunch of color. I'm putting a bunch of color out there. I don't care if it looks like anything, trying to go with like a universe thing. Anyway, and so And at one point, one of the boy that lives across the street, he just comes and sits like, my girls, they attract a lot of friends, good friends. And he's sitting there and just like, oh yeah, that looks super good. And I know I have one canvas like that, that's a little hole. I said, hey, if you want to join us and paint with us, you're free. Like, it's broken, but you can still do it, right? And he started painting his thing, and then it started raining, so we had to go. But it was just so nice to sit down outside painting, spending time with my kids. We did that for almost an hour. It was really fun. And so I'm enjoying how me doing the cry cut, was doing like the craft with my daughter, painting. And actually, I'm pretty sure it started with I think I've been dancing live on TikTok since maybe over a week. I did the full week last week, and maybe like the Thursday or Friday before. So I had the impulse. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be doing some exercise. And on TikTok, I had seen this lady who does somatic exercise. And so somatic exercise is like stretches and movement for the body that will release the energy, release past trauma, because we store energy in our body. And so I got a course from her. I'm sorry, to release hip, shoulder, and neck pain and anything that's in the body, right? Sorry. And so the next day, the first time, like, you know what? I'm gonna heal everything I can. Oh my goodness, sorry, I got the hiccups. And so what ended up happening is like, well, I'm enjoying this. And like, oh, since I'm already wearing like it's like 5 minutes exercise or something, not even. And I'm enjoying it. And I'm like, oh, because what the thing is, if you feel an emotion that you feel like crying, you just cry, because you don't have to store it. When you do those exercise, it's meant that if there's an emotion, you just cry it out because it's coming out. And so I started that, and then I'm like, I want to do Just Dance. I do love Just Dance, and we have it on the Switch. And I start that, go live. Hey, Sander. I go live on TikTok, and then it's just like, because I'm enjoying, right? I'm enjoying sharing my energy with people there. And there's a lot of people like, hey, good morning. And just like, I got people that are there every morning. They just come. They might be there for 5 minutes. They might be there for half an hour. They might be there the entire time. There are people like that just like, oh, I needed that smile this morning. And it's fun to see, right? And then after that, I got discussions with people. But yeah, so going for the just somatic and just releasing this, I'm like, oh, actually, I want to get more flexible. And the girls and I last week, we actually started doing some to learn how to do the split. That's my daughter's goal. I'm like, I want to be able to do it, but I want to also be able to do the split so I can feel free in my body, right? And just feel more flexible. Because I mean, let's be honest, in the bedroom, it's a lot easier if you're a little more flexible. I know there are ways, but I mean, just for, it's not even to please the other person, just for me, that I'm like, oh, I'm cramping. Oh my God, like, right? Just to be able to let my legs straight without being in pain when I'm walking or something. Like, not that I'm in pain, but touching my toes, I can't. And there's stuff I want to do in my head. I'm seeing myself in the future that kind of need to be more flexible. But again, so it just depends. Am I doing it for healing? Because if I'm doing something just to heal, the universe will always bring me stuff to heal and heal and heal. Right? There's going to be this loop of healing. So now, like, no, the goal, yes, it started as the motivation to heal. Now the goal is what? The goal is to be more flexible. The goal is to be able to do the split or to be able to do something else. And so the shift changes for a goal over healing, because I want to be able to have different things I can do. Anyway, so I got creative that way, and now I'm enjoying, like, just like, what else am I gonna create? Just today, there's a trend on TikTok that you have, like, somebody's like writing lyrics to a song from Nicki Minaj or something, and like, oh, I'm good at writing song lyrics that are funny or something. And so I think I'm gonna take my conference topics and put that in that song, like about manifesting and following your highest excitement. So that's something I'm going to check, and that we'll see. So, but I'm enjoying now, like, the vibe that I'm on. I feel so safe that I can take the time for it, right? Doesn't matter. Whatever is coming for me, whatever is meant for me is meant for me. There's nothing I can do. And I was even listening to something on TikTok the other day, and they said, you know, like, again, whatever is yours is meant to be yours. You don't need to be better or anything. Of course, if the man of your dream is yours already, there's nothing you can do to be more deserving. Is coming no matter what. But the inner work you've done is just nice for yourself, right? In the end, it's just nice. Like it's just a bonus. But that manifestation that you wanted, if you can think it's already yours. It already has happened in the future. So the money that you desire is already yours. Because I'm like, okay, yeah, that's true. My husband, like Eric, who I got an inheritance when he passed away. That money was mine because I was chosen. I didn't do anything for it. He just wrote my name on the piece of paper, right? So that I was nice or not, that I was a bitch, or that I was like doing fraud or not, like what doesn't matter, right? It didn't matter what I was doing, who I was, if I had done the healing or not. My name was there. So that money had my name on it. I was like, that's true. That kind of like changed a lot of things again, also in my head. Like, there's nothing I need to do. It's already happening, right? And the reason I think I need to do some things because I was raised that to get what you want, you need to be nice and do something for it. But no, that was yours the entire time. And so that was an interesting, not reframe because I already knew, but a different way of seeing it. Your name's already on that guy or that girl. Your name's already on that house. And one more, like another thing that came up later on that one is like, maybe right now you don't have the money for what you want, but when you're going to buy it, it's because you have the money. So you can already assume that you have the money for what you desire. I was like, oh, Schnei, wow. And I say Schnei instead of shit. But it's just like, holy crap, yes. Right now, I don't have $3 million. If I want to buy a house, wherever, that's $3 million. Right now, if I look at my bank account, yeah, we're far from that. But if I'm going to buy the house, of course I'll have the means for it, right? I'll be accepted for it. So now the how it's going to happen doesn't matter. But the them buying the house, of course I can have it. Of course I can buy it. I have the money for it because I'm buying it, right? So as you can imagine yourself in the future, like you want that dream boat, well, it's already yours. Because the day you're going to buy it, because you can't afford it, right? But now it's just to trust. The goal is to trust that it's happening. It's asked and it's given and it's yours. Nothing you can do about it. Like, it cannot miss you. And I'm like, oh, that's exciting. Even if you think you messed it up, you did not mess up anything because what's meant for you is coming for you. It's coming for you, guys. Not to you, for you. Anyway, for today, for this podcast, this is already the end. It's already been like 30 minutes. And so I will be back soon. Don't worry. And I've got a couple more things I want to chat with you guys. So stay tuned and I will talk to you later. And you can find me on MarieEveMongrain.com or Marie Mongrain 90 on TikTok and Instagram. And please feel free to message me anytime. I do enjoy having feedback. You guys have an amazing day. Ciao. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.